What's up, everybody? Welcome to Mr. Straight Facts Show. I am Mr. Straight Facts. Let's get into today's information. First off, we woke up, or at least sometime in the morning, found out that the jobs numbers were down. Not only were they down, let me see if I can pull up this chart here real quick. Not only were they down, hey DJ, this should be it right here. These numbers were horrific, but the whole thing is 73,000 jobs added in July, erasing 258,000 jobs for the prior 2 months. 19,000 in May. We did worse in June by 5,000 less. It shot up to 73. But as you can see, look back. I want you to look back into December with Joe Biden. Everybody was talking shit about Joe Biden. Had 323,000 jobs. November, 261, I believe it is. I can barely see it. It's a little small for me. You got 44,000 in October, near the season in which, I guess they're either starting to ramp up jobs at that point, because that's the seasonal time when they start to hire people. So you probably see that seasonal, jobs that are affected in November. So you never know what'll happen in November this year. But if we go back to July of the previous year, it was 88. August was 71. So you're looking at he's down from the previous year. I think that's 88. So he's like 15,000 short. You don't see anything, and we haven't gone all the way back to May or June. But 10, 19, and 14,000 jobs, those are worse than we were when we were in the pandemic, which basically means people are outside risking their lives and getting hired when they could have just walked out and caught COVID and died. They were getting more jobs at that time than in May and June of this year when there is no COVID. Let you know, first off, I don't know how many people have tried to tell, and I mean my mutuals have tried to tell people, pay attention to what these tariffs are going to do. With all the issues of like not knowing when a tariff is going to hit, and it is going to hit, it isn't going to hit, it's supposed to hit, it didn't hit, and that's how you got the name Taco. What do you think these companies are going to do? A lot of them front-loaded their products. And if you don't know what front-loading is, I'm pretty sure all my people do. What's up, Mark? I see you. What's up, Alice? All my people pretty much know what front-loading is. They probably have had a business. We're probably, seasoned people in this room. But just in case you don't, front-loading is a company buying products. I got to move this up a little bit. Buying products ahead of time, because you see these tariffs about to come. So you either go into debt or you dig into your reserves and you buy a crap ton of products that you normally sell and you store them someplace. Now think about that. You bought it so that you can have a lot of it so that you can store it. And they were buying for stuff that we aren't going to buy right now. They were waiting for school to start and things of that nature, and Christmas. So they had to buy things that they normally sell in those months, which means they're going to have to be in storage for a while. Remember, he was doing this at the beginning of January, February, when he started doing this shit. So they started buying like crazy. Now ask yourself a question. They bought it so that it would be cheaper, and they was afraid of these tariffs. And then these tariffs didn't come on, so he started tacoing on them. But they've already put so much money into buying more product, which makes it look like he threw the tariffs on. Look how much money we have now. America's buying like crazy. We got 400 million, 400 billion, whatever in our account. Look at what we're doing. Look how these tariffs are working. They're not working. These corporations, these businesses are buying a crap ton of product they don't need, so that when the tariffs hit, they don't have to spend that much money. They can keep prices, pretty much the same. But these people, they don't care about keeping the prices just the same. Thank you, David Bickett, for your donation. They ain't gonna try and keep the prices the same. There's a thing that I just heard of today, and I knew they do it because I used to work in retail. I knew that they would slowly start to bring up prices, but I never really knew the term of it. It's called sneakflation. Noticing that through all this time of Donald Trump waffling all over the place with tariffs, these people, organizations, have been slowly raising your food up a penny, 10 cents, 8 cents. Getting it on sale, you get $1 off. Going back up to $1.15 more. Some of these products right now at this moment are $13 more than they were before Donald Trump came into office. Higher end products, $13 more. And the tariffs haven't even hit for those damn and some of those products are made in America. So when you notice that American businesses rob the fuck out of American people, why in the hell do you think these companies are going to eat the tariffs and not charge us for them when they gouge the hell out of us? I mean, it makes no sense. These businesses are going to slowly rob the hell out of us. And then when these tariffs hit, I can only eat it for so long. We going into our profits. I can't eat it for that long. Now, Oreos are $16. It's a bit extreme, but we don't know what it's going to be. This fool raised shit up. Do you understand? Our tariffs was like 0 to like 3%. The average tariff right now is 10%. That's 7% more than it was before. Add 7% more to shit that it was only 3%. Some of it was 0. 10% on things that you were getting. And that's just on them purchasing it. They can charge you 15, 20, whatever percent. Gas is high and this is high, so you got to pay. Not only did it cost so much money for us to bring it over here, it's costing us $2 or $3 more gas to deliver it to you. I don't know who in their right mind thought that this fool who went bankrupt 6 times in a casino with some shady shit there to begin with, you thought he was going to be able to run a country and he couldn't run a casino? Hell, we don't have 6 countries to fuck over. We only got 1. He had 6 casinos. He fucked over them all. And you gave him the reins to the country. And the first time he gets a jobs report he don't like, he fires the people who regulate it. Let go of Erica, I think Mac in Tarfer or something like that. She was a U.S. Commissioner of Labor Statistics. How are you going to fire the person who just did the math and you don't like how the math was mathing, so you wanted some MAGA math? Basically, loser math is what you wanted. I don't know about MAGA, but I know damn well I want somebody who can add, subtract, do some multiplication. I don't want an idiot that's sitting there counting on their fingers and toes, running the economy. This lady that he fired was in that position for 20 years or so. which literally means she worked for Republicans, Democrats, and what the Bureau of Labor Statistics and all these, they're nonpartisan. They're focused on numbers. You got to understand something. It's not just America that relies on this. Our economy and other countries' economies rely on our numbers. Hence being one of the powers in the world, hence being the dollar being more stable. Because people trust throughout the world, I don't know why with Trump in office they would, but throughout the world, that our numbers fucking matter. They actually make sense. They're not MAGA math, they're actually math. And therefore, they have to rely on that in order to buy our bonds, rely on that to be able to invest in our country, rely on that to be able to give us loans, rely on that so that our banks could get loans so that we can get loans to buy our homes. They rely on that system. How are they going to rely on a system that has a person who's loyal to Trump, but not to the numbers? How do you think a house sits on quicksand as a sound foundation? It makes no sense. You're going to fire somebody, and not that she's the entire system, but you're going to fire somebody and you want to put somebody in place that's going to give you the numbers you want? Yeah, we in some trouble. I mean, who does that shit? I don't understand who does that. I want you guys to see, because it's sad, but it's funny. And this picture or video I'm about to show you has a freaking million words to it. They said a picture's worth 1,000 words. This video is worth a gazillion words. There are 7 faces in this video, and every last one of them tells a story or more. I want you to listen. Not only, I don't want you to just watch it or listen to the anchor speaking. I want you to hear every little nuance in it so you can kind of get a feel for what these people are going through. And yes, it's Fox, because I had to show you this. You know, I understand it's going to kill some of y'all. It's like fingers on a chalkboard to listen to these idiots. But we're going to go ahead and show you what we're talking about. I'm going to pause in between just to give you a little understanding. And pay attention to it, listen to the audio and everything. We're going to get it.
73,000 jobs. 73,000 jobs created in the month of July. Number just coming out.
Did you just hear? That was a brother down there. Now, you can call him a brother. He got brown skin, but he ain't a brother. But the reaction is, In his head right now, he's trying to think of how can I spend this for Trump. 100%. When I first heard it, what I'm going to do now? How I'm going to stay on track? How I'm going to sit there and lick on Donald Trump's left hairy, crusty nut. How I'm going to do it? How I'm going to do it? How I'm going to figure it out? You see my man over here, bald as I am, his head all shiny and shit with his glasses on, bent down, writing down numbers. This man is doing the math, and he ain't doing no math. He's writing a note. We're fucked. We're fucked is what he's doing. Like a teacher telling you to write something on the board over and over again. He's writing, we're fucked over and over again. How in the hell? How in the hell? Upset. Pissed off. Look at the other dude. Eyebrows up. Ears as big as I don't know what. Dumbo Jr. Just sitting there in the daze. Other chick over here, she white, but she trying to play the Asian. I don't know what's up with that. Maybe just sitting there doing her thing. I can't tell, but she looks like Maria Bartiromo. I don't know. I bet she bald. That head looked kind of weird. Every time her hair looks kind of weird to me. The dude right there next to her on the other side of the one with the pink or mauve, whatever, tie, whatever that is, right? burgundy, pinkish, hot pink. I've seen him before when he used to do other stuff on Fox. And some of these people used to have some kind of sanity until they went all over to like Hannity World, Fox. But that dude was always kind of down the middle with math. He's like, you know what? And he would try to play, the right side of like math and not like fucking like going to the left and the right. This is a long time ago. I ain't been watching him for a while. And then the other lady, I don't know who the hell she is. I have no clue. But just by looking at them, I knew the first thing they was going to try and do was push it off of Trump, push it off of everything. And the guy in the pink tie, he kind of went down the road that he used to go down. But he's going to be the first one to speak. And watch the rest of them not even mention his reality. Mind you, he is the only one that knows about the economics and shit like that. He is the only one that's like the expert in economics. All the rest of them just invest. They're not economic. Well, I don't know about the dude with the bald head. But just check it. Check what he has to say.
Total.
4.2% is the unemployment rate, right in line with expectations. Here are the numbers. For the month of July, jobs came in at 73,000. That was lower than the expectation, which called for 110,000 jobs. The unemployment rate right in step with expectations at 4.2%. Steve Moore, your reaction.
Look, I think this is all a result, this disappointing number is a result of all the turmoil over tariffs and the trade wars. And that's sort of good news and bad news, because guess what? In just the last few weeks, Trump has racked off a lot of victories here. As he gets more victories with the Europeans, with Japan, with the UK, I think that's going to settle things. And then that kind of turmoil will be over. So I think that this is kind of a blip. And so I'm still very bullish on the U.S. economy, but this is a disappointing number. I'd love to see what the number was for private sector, as John was saying. Is it private sector or government? I want to see the government employment number down, because remember, under Biden, so much of the job creation was in the government sector.
Yeah, go ahead. Joel Schulman, did you say something? Charles, was that you?
83,000 for the number that he was looking for. So 83,000 the federal government hired or whatever. But you got to understand something. They let go of a few 100,000 or some shit. You hired back some people? What the hell has that got to do with anything? Just federal government hired people. Well, you fired a crap ton of people. That ain't a positive, still a negative. But I digress. They get the 83,000 number, whatever it may be. But you see how this Steve guy, he lets you know that he believes that it has to deal with Trump's tariff game, going up and down, fucking with the tariffs. Therefore, nobody knows how to invest. Nobody, and investors, for the stock, they were making a mint off of this, because again, they could kind of depict Donald Trump because he was waffling all over the place. At first, remember when they didn't know he was waffling, they thought he was serious, fully serious. Oh, the stocks was going down like crazy. We lost so much stocks because they thought he was serious and everybody was just scrambling. But then they saw he would put on for 30 days and the next, 30 days to be over and nothing happened. Oh, I put it on 60 days and it'd be nothing happened. It'd be on 14 days and nothing happened. At that point, they gave him the name Taco. You know what I'm saying? Trump always chickens out. So then what does he do? He's still chickening out. And so they have decided, as far as the stock people, continue investing. But business people are more, reliant on data, in a sense, like they're not going to take the risk of their business, right? You can't tell me that I'm going to go and buy $500,000 worth of product and then everybody's going to be broke. They ain't going to be able to buy my product. I don't wasted my money. So the economy's got to look kind of good, and I got to trust it so that I know that my numbers are going to be good. Just like the economy, when you see these 9,000 jobs or whatever it was, 19,000 and 14,000 jobs, whatever, as opposed to it being 200 and something thousand, and they lost 258,000 net where they thought they had more, but they ended up being 19 and 14. Think about that. That's less people being able to buy my product. I got to think about that before I buy my shit. So I front load, and now I see jobs going down. I can't front load like that anymore because I don't know if these people are going to be able to buy it, if it's going to even go off the shelf. Right? So then you got all these people trying to figure it out in businesses. I got to lay people off. I mean, I can hire them back if I know what's going to happen. Oh, I owe back loans and things of that nature in my business. Got bills to pay, things are coming up. Had to cut back where everything is sensible. My knowns and my unknowns. I don't know what Donald Trump is doing, but I do know my bills are coming up. And I do know that my sales is just about matching so that I can be able to pay everything off. But my profits, my revenue's happening, my profits are starting to dwindle. So I can't eat it so much. I'm gonna have to start charging people. Right? Now, if you're a major company where you got billions of dollars sitting in reserve where you're playing with, you may have some time to be able to make it happen. But like I said, the majority of American citizens, you work for a mid-sized to small business. Your business can't eat it like that. Your business right now, I bet many of you, if you're working and haven't retired, the company you work for, the company you own, is barely getting by with the way the economy is running as it is. Everything's up. People keep lying and saying, "Oh, the gas price is down." It's like, no, gas prices, they are up, and they're just hovering on the upside. They ain't going high. They're hovering on the upside, which means if we could continue this, they're not going to lower it. We're on that cusp of things being just too high. That if it goes a little higher without more jobs, without more investment, with the dollar actually coming up, unemployment, so Dennis said, is 4.2%. 62,000 jobs, he says, were lost. I haven't gotten to those stats, but I trust Dennis on his stats till I figure out more of my own on that. But my point is, we're not ready for this. We're not being prepared for this. And I saw an interview earlier today, probably about an hour or so or two ago. It may have been less than that. And I saw one of the, I don't want to say mention his name, but one of the senators, Democrat. I mean, Bernie Sanders, I'd say. He was, I mean, I know he was joking. I mean, he was like trying to bring weight to it, but he kind of was chuckling at this shit like it's crazy. Donald Trump's crazy, haha. It ain't funny. I understand you know that it's not funny, but even being lighthearted about it. It's not a joke. It's not a game. Put your game face on and be serious and fight this shit to the death. Americans, there are so many, like, again, Americans, over 60% of us live check to check. If your job fires you tomorrow, there will be hundreds of thousands of people homeless within a couple months or so. 2 months without a job, the majority of Americans will go homeless. Not just broke, homeless. And we're toying with a dude talking about messing with the system so that we know how much the dollar is worth. He's making this system up on his own, and we can't be allowing this dude to make up his own system. This man bankrupted 6 casinos. And we're going to trust his numbers, whoever puts it in? No. Somebody need to stop this shit quick. This is not a game. This is democracy, and this man is tearing it up. These people are trying their best to hide what Trump is doing and blame it on everybody else. And you'll hear more about what they have to say in a second.
83,000 private sector. Yeah. I want to push back on that. I think this is more about the Federal Reserve. Again, we got to buy
Jerome Powell. He's going to try and blame it on Jerome Powell.
bifurcated economy. The Fed is they have a regressive approach here, right? They're trying to still clamp down on this economy, but it's not working. It's hurting 70% of the folks out there. Look at delinquencies. Look at all of the things that are hurting the average household, I think, and also small businesses. Coming into this year, the biggest question was, how would they even refinance? We're talking about financing government debt. How do we help the small businesses out there? There are two economies. The Fed's looking at the wealthiest folks out there and thinking it means everyone, and I think that's hurting the jobs market more than anything else.
So, Bubblehead McFarkles over here is trying to tell you that it's the Fed's the problem. So how are they going to fix it there, Bubblehead? They're going to just lower the interest rates so that people start borrowing money on an account, on an economy that's sitting up on stilts and shit? No solid foundation. It's on stilts. And you're telling them, oh, let's go ahead and give people opportunity to get more money with an economy that's still going down. Is that what you want to do? Isn't that how we destroyed everything? That's how the housing boom, when the housing crash, rather. The internet, what was it called? When we had was it internet boom, or not the boom, but the crash? Everybody was invested heavily into the internet, and the shit just fell, all because we made everything like opportunity-wise to be able to get in. Everybody's investing in. Everybody's investing in the economy. You're not paying attention to. Everything's inflated. Makes it seem like everything's worth a lot of shit, and it's all fake. Then it blows up. So you're trying to tell the Fed, the fake, that the economy's doing something that is not, just so that you can get interest rates cut and people can start buying shit when they really can't afford it. So they can create more debt. And especially rich people, they're going to borrow like crazy because they deal with debt. Debt is good to them. But the average person doesn't know how to leverage debt for jack. We worry about, we got to pay that bill off. We got to pay that off. And we can keep the lights on, whatever. He acts like he gives a damn about the poor or the middle class people losing this and losing that. I'm like, dude, Donald Trump's tariffs is what's doing this. The threat of all these tariffs, the uncertainty of all these businesses, from billionaires to small folk. See, the billionaires have access to Trump. They can hit him up and be like, yo, man, I'm having problems with, whatever, carburetors on it. We're having problems with this product. You got to give me some kind of leeway on the electronics, man. Oh, okay. 30 days on electronics. While the people who don't have access to him have to deal with this shit. Do you understand 10% when everything before was 0 to 3%? Small businesses can't handle that. The only reason that you want them to lessen or lower the interest rates is because you want these people to continue borrowing money that they don't fucking have to pay back, to make the economy look like it's doing something because of all these transactions, but the people don't have the money in the bank to pay this shit off. So it's a false positive. Jerome Powell is seeing this shit. I trust him way more than I trust this bubblehead fool. They always want to disrespect our norms. I understand if there's something that you don't like about it, I get it. But our society, the way it runs, is determined on the smart people who know how to do it. With Donald Trump, he'll have somebody like Pete Hegseth in there trying to run shit. That dude can't add. He running the military, and he's an alcoholic. Talking about running for some position in Tennessee while he's literally working in the White House right now, giving away our secrets and shit to people who ever want to do it on fucking an app. Jesus Christ. There are too many companies right now, like people are talking about, Ford, General Motors. You can't figure out what the tariffs are. And if you raise the tariffs, because the tariffs have been raised up to like 10%, again, it was 0 to like 3%. Cars are costing more. Gas is costing more. Oil for cars and motorcycles, like that shit's costing more. Everything's going up. Milk is costing more. Eggs cost more. I mean, why in the hell is this dude in office if he's not doing any of this shit? He ain't even focused on it. You ain't heard this man say nothing about lowering prices. He told them as soon as he got into office, it's going to take some time to do that. All right, off to the races doing something else. But what? You want to build a $200 million ballroom, but don't want to give $200 million for Medicare or Medicaid. You went and saved billions of dollars, you say, so you can build a ballroom? Where the fuck that budget coming from? Oh, we're going to get people to do it. So people going to bribe you like they did with the plane to build something for the White House. That's the people's house, not yours, fool. Man, I don't understand these people at all.
Yeah, it's a great point, and I agree that this report is so critical for the Federal Reserve's next move. Stephanie, how do you read things?
Well, I'm just stunned at another number in this report, and that is the downward revision to the June figure from 147,000 to just 14,000. So looking over the last 3 months, we've got 73,000 in July, 14.
The dude in the back go, wow. Wow. You can hear just the small little things that tells you basically, oh, fuck. He literally said, wow. Because she said, we went down from 258,000 jobs. We literally only created 19,000 one month and 14,000 the next, when they thought it was over 300,000 basically. In 3 months, we're nowhere near what Biden did in his last month in 3 months of Donald Trump's presidency. Insane, horrible. All of them say it's bad, but then they try and twist it for their viewers. It's bad, but I'm optimistic. I'm bullish. You bullshittish is what you are. This lady's trying. At least she brought up the numbers of the previous months. Nobody else brought that up. They were trying to figure it out on the fly. The guy who came up with 83,000, I'm sure he saw it, but he kind of left it out. The thing about Fox is they try their best to keep their people so far in the dark. They really don't tell them everything. They tell them the surface. And then they try to explain it away. Instead of saying exactly what it was, which this man, Steve, said what it was, but you see how he knows what stations he's on. He is on Fox. So he said what it was, then he tried to backtrack. Well, it could be a good thing. How the fuck is this a good thing? Because as long as he gets some more deals going, months down the line, it might get better. Who's thinking about months down the line? And what deals are you talking about? He don't have any deals, yo. I get tired of people saying deals. What deal is it? Agreements that they're going to, oh, yeah, we do 10%. You do 10%? Yeah, we're going to do 15%. Do 50%? Yeah, that's it. That's a deal. That's not a deal. A deal takes years. Donald Trump got people just dumbing down what a deal is. I mean, dumbing it down. Oh, it's a deal. No, it's not. They don't have shit written on paper. Only, I think, 1 or 2 of them actually have something written on paper. All the rest of them, it's a handshake, or they said some shit over the phone. It's just terrible.
1,000 in June and 19,000 in May. Those are incredibly weak headline numbers, and that's the total, not just private jobs. So this is a very soft report. And I guess what I'm really blown away by is that July generally is a report where the seasonals are such that you can surprise on the upside very easily, because 1 million people roughly drop out of the labor force with the school year, the school vacation. So that sets a very low seasonal bar for the data to clear, and clearly we tripped over the bar. So this is a very weak report. And sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay. And I guess, it certainly strengthens the argument materially for the Fed to cut rates. It's interesting because one presumes they had at least some of the preliminary components of this report when they were in their meeting on Wednesday and made the decision. They probably had an early look at this. So that probably is one of the reasons why you had the two dissents. But amazing that Powell stood firm despite that in the face of this data.
Well,
there are literally 12 people, I think it is. I want to say 12. It may be a little bit less. I'm thinking either 7 or 12 people who make a decision. It's not Jerome Powell who makes the final decision. He is one vote out of many. And there were 2 people, and the majority didn't want to do it. But again, because Donald Trump doesn't like Jerome Powell, because he fucking senile, and he wants somebody to just cater to him, not realizing that he even tried to say, that was a Joe Biden selection. No, you brought in Jerome Powell. Joe Biden didn't, you did. And Joe Biden kept him because what? He knew what he was doing. I'm good. And here we have Donald Trump going against his own people that he hired because they gave him something that he didn't want to hear. And you got Fox sitting here trying to tell people totally different of reality. Oh yeah, it's why you had 2 dissents. And it should have been, they should have, this gives you an understanding that you should have lowered rates. You don't know his job and you can't do his job. You just want something to happen. And the thing is, everybody makes mistakes. But the reality is, we don't know whether he has or hasn't. Neither has she. They have this generalistic idea of what they're saying they always do this. And I'm like, okay, so no matter whether this person was appointed by a Democrat or Republican, in history, these people have done this. Well, maybe they've done it because they kind of know their job. And maybe because they can't really depict evil people as easy as you would want it to. Because again, fake numbers. If you don't understand, let's say like the housing crash, how do you expect somebody like a Jerome Powell to know that the banks are giving fraudulent loans to people who can't afford the homes, so therefore they can sell the property and make money and then resell it and make money, then resell it because they know the people who have it don't have it. So they're just grabbing every piece of cash they can for people so they can live in a house for a month or 2 months or whatever. Keep bloating everything up, and then all of a sudden, everybody realizes we owe more money. These people are under, right? They owe $600,000 on a $200,000 house. Who the hell didn't see that coming? Of course, banks did. Of course, the owners did. And when you got 2 people trying to fuck over the economy and everybody and their mama, the economy eventually is going to blow the fuck up. And you're going to blame that on the person who can't recognize that until it happens. He or she can't figure out how bad some Americans are, how bad some mortgage people were, how bad the banks were. They were bad actors all around. And you want them to perform miracles. Of course they're going to get it wrong sometime because they can't understand the depravity in some of the minds in this country that fuck it up for everybody. They think it's just them. Oh, if I cheat a little bit, it ain't gonna be no big deal. Then you teach somebody how to cheat, and you teach somebody how to cheat. 10 years down the line of cheating or 5 years down the line of cheating, something's gonna blow the fuck up. And when it usually comes when everything's due and ain't nobody got no money to pay for it. That's when it blows. That happened in the internet boom, that had it, or bust. It happened in the housing crash, all that. Happened with Enron. It happened all over the place. And they can't depict that. But when they see it happening, that's when they start lowering rates. Our economy was doing great when Biden was in. We kept telling people, it was just idiots that didn't pay attention. It's like, dude, everything's lowering. Give us some time. We're creating jobs left and right. He created all these different bills to help us out. Our health care is doing great. All that. This man's trying to take your health care away from you. No, he's not. Yes, he is. Look at Project 2025. Nope. Didn't pay attention to none of it. Everything starts to crash. Fox is being disingenuous. They should be telling you a lot of this is because of Donald Trump's policies. You can't have an engine running and then take the gas out the machine and expect the damn thing to continue driving for 400 miles. You may get an extra 10 miles out of it, but you can't take all the guts out and expect it to continue running or even being better than it was before. How can it be when what it needs, it's being starved of? How do you think our economy is going to get better when there's no money being infused in it? It's all being taken out and put places that it doesn't need to be, creating a freaking army of ICE people. Billions of dollars going toward these idiots while we're starving our education. Our people who are starving, we're getting rid of SNAP. I mean, how can a system run better when you take money out of it? When you take the engine out of it, how does it run better? This shit doesn't make any sense. Zero. And you got people who say they're in the business and finance and money telling you and blowing smoke up your ass on Fox. It can work better. Just take the engine out. Really? I'm just going to go downhill for the rest of my life? How the hell am I going to go uphill without an engine? It makes no sense. And people who watch this damn show, oh, that makes sense. You're a dipshit.
It's a great point that you make, because these downward revisions show a lot more about this economy in the last couple of months. And if we're learning this now, in the first day of August for the month of July and the month of June, that things were weakening, Jay Powell had access to that. How is it possible that he went forward and did not cut interest rates even as he saw all of this data, Stephanie? Yes, that's why we had two dissenters.
So you're blaming Powell again. Maria must be drunk. I mean, because there's no reason these people should be on Fox Business. I mean, because they sound like they never ran a business in their life. And I know that's not true. So you must be delusional for some reason. And how do you get 7 delusional people in one damn room? I mean, damn. How do you get 7 delusional people? It is Jerome Powell is the reason why we have, no, see, Jerome Powell, when he sees stuff like this, these are the indicators in which help him determine what he or she should do. And all of these people in this group, they have to vote, make the decision. You want to say that 2 dissented. You don't know why they dissented. Trump might have got to them, and they ain't got nothing to do with it. Donald Trump and his people know they've been fucking over our economy. I told you yesterday I was going to tell you a little bit about what he's doing with these fake tariffs and shit, and then throwing them on and having some tariffs and taking them off. This man is trying to falsely boost the economy. See, he's trying to make it seem like, okay, all this shit's going to happen. And that's why he's bugging the shit out of Jerome Powell, because he knows what he's doing is inflationary. He knows what he's doing is going to fuck up the economy. That's why if he had a sycophant, which he wants, in the position that Jerome Powell is in, whenever Trump says, cut rates, they're going to cut them, even though our economy can't handle it. It's not ready for it. Giving us a false boom like Donald Trump's economy is doing great, because they know what they're doing to it is going to destroy it. Telling them to lower the interest rate, people start moving cash around. Billionaires start buying more, start buying stock because it's cheaper to get. It's a false boom, so that people think it's going great. But after 4 months, 6 months, you get hit with the falsity of it all. Because in all honesty, the economy is going like this. They lower interest rate. They want to kind of cut it off and make it go back up. People are buying anymore. But the point is, the economy is still going fucking down. This is a false boom. As soon as people start to wore out this rate thing, all of a sudden, wait a minute, everything's like falling apart. Why? Because we made it look like the economy's doing great, but it wasn't. Then it crashes. They do this shit on purpose, Republicans. It is their job to destroy the country, not build it. Their job is to destroy the country for American citizens. Because to destroy it for the American citizens, you're building it for the rich. Why? Because once you destroy it, everything becomes cheaper. And rich people buy everything up. You're too broke to buy anything. That's how they gain their wealth. When everything goes down, they buy. And Donald Trump is falsely, on purpose, destroying us. Making everything, even our dollar went down, everything. So these rich people continue to buy shit. That's what this man is doing. They know he's doing it. And they're going along with it. You can't tell me you got seasoned finance people who can't figure this shit out. It's too simple to see. And they got everybody else because most people aren't into finance. Majority of Americans are just budgeting their own lives. While they rob us of our federal dollars and spend it on shit we never use. Keeping the wealthy wealthy and keeping the regular people middle class or broke. Recognize it. It's the only way you're going to be able to stop it. I'm fed up listening to these fools. You'll see that in Wisconsin, there was a Republican at a as a town hall, and they lit into his ass. I want you guys to see that. I want you guys to see this. Yeah, it crashed in 2008. George Bush, most definitely. I remember that. What was that? Just listen. Yes, I remember that. But again, they keep doing it. They keep doing it. And it all starts with them getting into office, and whatever money we have in the economy, in the government, that could be helping the poor, could be helping to solve cancer, could be helping to shore up some things, or even pay off our debt, or even being able to help with the deficit. These fools give that money away to the rich. Oh, they're going to increase the economy. No, they're not. No, they're not. There's over 50 years of data. 50. I'm 54. 50 years of data showing that trickle-down economics, which that isn't a real name, but that's what they labeled it, from the top to bottom, giving the rich people more, and they'll end up buying and selling and getting businesses and hiring and stuff like that, and they'll increase the economy. Over 50 years of studying, it never has ever fucking worked. Why they keep trying something that doesn't work? Because it does work, but not for what they tell you it works for. It works for them to get wealthier, to get subsidies, to get what free money, welfare. That's what it works for. It has never worked to create the jobs they say they're going to create. And they keep trying the same program because stupid people don't pay attention. Oh, I got $3,000 back. I got $1,500 back. I went out and bought me a TV and now I'm broke. That's what they know. They'll get $15 million, $150 million back. Buy up property, probably even your own home. Buy up your entire block from the bank, and you're owing them money. And you're sitting here wondering, oh, I got my $1,500, walking around with your TV on your wall or whatever the hell you bought with it, and thinking your life has gotten better when it has not. And they know it. That's why they play these people like a fiddle. They play you, and you just keep falling right back into that fucking hole every time, chasing the little bucks they give you. Why don't you say, give us health care with the little bucks you're giving us? And then guess what? The money that you spend on health care a year, which depending on how many people in your family, might just be you, thousands of dollars is in your pocket working for your family because you don't have to pay that health care. Your health care is already paid with your taxes. Your taxes don't have to go up. That's the crazy part. Your taxes don't have to go up for you to have health care in this country. You pay enough taxes to be able to do it. It's just that the rich doesn't pay their fair share. And I don't know why the middle class and the poor, which is the majority of Americans, 90% of us, 98, whatever percent of us, I'll say 95 right now, 95% of us are in that bucket. So 95% of us can't get together and be like, yo, the rich, fuck y'all. We need to do this so we can, fuck giving them $400 million for a Tesla is made as bulletproof. Take that $400 million and put it toward health care so that every year you can just go get your health care and you can save tens of thousands of dollars depending on how big your family is in health care. Nope. You want to keep chasing the lottery and maybe one day you'll make a lot of money and you don't want to be taxed. So you allow rich people extraordinarily, and it's crazy how millionaires I know have no problem paying extra, but billionaires who have way more than them are always bitching and moaning. What extreme greed you have to have when you could purchase anything on this planet 100,000 times over, and you're sitting here trying to squeeze $2 trillion out of government workers and the government people paying their taxes. You're trying to squeeze it out so you can give it to yourself. When you can go sit on a yacht for the rest of your damn life and not have to work again and leave people the fuck alone. No, your greed got you going to the White House, becoming Doge and all this shit like that so you can get more money. To do what? When you die, you can't take it with you. Even if you try, somebody's going to rob your grave if you try and do it. To them, it's an I world or me world. Me. And for us, it's a we thing. It's just insane. But you're going to listen to them go off on them. And I told you, it's going to be the MAGA people who are going to eat these people. You know what I mean by eat. They're going to destroy them. At some point in time, I would not doubt that somebody's going to try and Mike Pence some of these people. Because here's the problem I see that they have, and you're going to see it, but these Republicans don't give a fuck about their constituents. They're acting as if we're going to turn into a dictatorship and they don't have to worry about ever getting elected ever again. That's why they're not giving a shit about their constituents. Their constituents are complaining and they're just nonchalant. We can agree to disagree. But they used to have to fight for people's vote. Right now they're acting like they don't need nobody's vote no more. I'm done. You don't have any power, people. That's the way they're talking to their own constituents, which lets you know that they have something else in mind because they used to fight for the American people. But now it seems like they're fighting for Trump. You can't sit here and listen to your constituents and then play them off. Not even playing up to them and lying to them like a normal politician would. But you're right, we should take care of that. I'll go back and talk to the president about that. You're right. None of that. They're consistently fuck off constituents. Laughing at them and at their pain. They're just, nah, it's not what it is. We just have to agree to disagree. Who used to do that shit as a politician? These people are emboldened to believe that even their constituents they don't have to answer to. So who do they have to answer to? Donald Trump and these rich bastards out here feeding that machine. Let's see what they had to say.
Why are they wearing masks and why are they unidentified?
We'll probably agree to disagree on some of my answer here. But what I view is the moral hazard created by the Biden administration by allowing the U.S.-Mexico border to remain insecure.
They booed the shit out of him as soon as he mentioned Biden. He's like, yo, and I want y'all to understand something, because they'll try and spin this. They're in a Republican area where Trump won by a large number. They're in a Republican area. These people booing are not liberals. These people are not, they're people who voted for Donald Trump, his constituents. And the MAGA people who are in his audience, he doesn't have any empathy or sympathy. He literally is like, we just gonna have to disagree. Agree to disagree. They're like, nah, quit mentioning Biden and get on what we're talking about. Are you for us or are you for Trump? That's the type of questions they're asking these fools. Are you for us or are you for Trump? Because if you for just Trump, we got something to say to you. And the lady in this at the end has something to say to him about that shit.
And so it's completely fine that we disagree. There's nothing wrong with disagreeing on the topic. President Biden had a different view than I did on the importance of securing the U.S.-Mexico border. But as millions of illegal immigrants came into the United States and there's a lack of action by the federal government, you're now seeing that action take place with the removal particularly of individuals who are in the country illegally.
So before he goes to the next one, so she talked about people wearing masks and why they have to wear a mask. And, you know, it's just not the way that they envisioned it happening. And this dude mentioned Biden and then talked about all of these people coming over the border and then tried to justify what was happening, but never mentioned why they're wearing masks. We just have to agree to disagree. She asked about masks, bro. Never touched on the topic. Just invoked Biden because he thought his people just going to just start kissing ass over Biden. Biden's gone, bro. Gone. And you still talking about it. And your people don't moved on to Donald Trump and you sycophants. This shit ain't going to continue working. They're going to go off on their ass. Let this happen again next year.
I am so disappointed. I am so disappointed in how you represent us as the citizens of Walworth County. Southeast Wisconsin has not been represented by you. President Trump seems to run Southeast Wisconsin through you. And all I have to ask is I will be out there working hard if you choose to run for any office.
That's it.
I don't think you're the right fit for us anymore. I just think it's time to go.
Time to go.
You just don't relate to most of us anymore, and you got to know when to step down. I think it's time.
Are they?
She said, you got to know when to step down. I think it's time. Again, these are not Democrats. These are Republicans. And on top of that, they're MAGA. Okay? I want you to understand. This is MAGA speaking. This is not a Democrat. This is a Republican area. And they voted for him. And he's like, you don't represent us anymore. As if he did, because Democrats in that area is like, he never represented you to begin with. But they thought he did. And she just said, basically, you don't represent us anymore. You got to know when to fold them. Know when to walk away. And they sitting around here with a bad hand holding them. Like, nah, man, fold and bounce. But they're going to stick around. But like I said, The gentleman before that basically said, I'm going to be on the streets doing everything I can to get you out of office. And she, at the very end, said, it's time for you to bounce. You don't represent us no more. They're done with him. So is he going to get the message and start voting for the people? Or is he going to stay on the sycophant side that's probably padding his pockets and giving him a promise that within the 4 years, you'll never have to vote again. You'll forever be in your position because I'm allow you. One thing that trips me out with these people, again, Donald Trump's 79, close to 80. 79. This fool dying sometime soon, okay? His ankles are the size of fucking walnuts. Not walnuts, but watermelons, what I meant. Size of watermelons. His heart ain't acting right. Blood ain't going back to it. It's stuck in his leg, won't go back up to his heart. You think that fat dude's going to continue to live for the next 20, 30 years? Fuck no. Who's next? Y'all need to be looking for who's next, like real quick. Real quick. But they ain't looking for who's next. That's why they're going to be stuck. None of them can wipe their own ass without this man telling them to do it. And that's where they stuck at. That's where they stuck. They're going to have to realize, again, I want to ask MAGA, what do you think about your man? You know what I'm saying? What's up with Donald Trump? What's up with him? Huh? He out here doing some egregious shit. He let out Ghislaine Maxwell. Ghislaine Maxwell, whatever the hell I'm saying her name is. I always mess it up. Let out Maxwell, G Maxwell. That's what I'm gonna give it to her. Fuck giving her her whole name. Fuck her. Ghislaine Maxwell or G Maxwell. She got let out of hardcore prison and sent to a softer prison. Why? How do you send a habitual, predator, pedophile, who grabbed girls from spas, from schools, told them there's going to be models, participated in the rapes of children? She's not even allowed to go to a lower security federal prison. By law, she's not allowed. But the Bureau of Prisoners they bypassed this law to allow her to go to this prison. The same prison where what's her I think it's Elizabeth something. I forget her last name. This lady, she didn't have a sexual crime. But if you never heard, I can't remember her last name. I think it was Elizabeth something. If you never heard this woman, you could probably type up what I'm about to tell you she did. She suckered mostly white men, investors, at a damn near $1 billion, 800 something million dollars, almost $1 billion, telling them that a product that they thought was going to be like the game changer. I'm going to tell you how is white privilege in this country. There's never been a person of color that's gotten as much money as this woman has gotten off a product that never fucking worked. Her product was something of the effect that you can do your own blood test at home and things of that nature. It's a portable machine, whatever. You do your own blood test and you can do all your stuff. But it never worked. And get this, it never could work. We don't even have the technology to make it work, even to today. So she was kept on promising them. How do you get 800 something billion dollars worth of investments on some shit that you keep promising somebody and never have the product to do it? Never presented it, ever. $800 million, not a billion, $800 million something dollars. She's in this prison because she robbed a bunch of rich white men. And therefore she's in a prison, you know, that she should be. And she didn't harm anybody physically. But that's what this prison's for. And you got a woman that not only raped young girls, she was a madam to them. Brought them in to model. Broke them in alongside her boyfriend, sidekick, Jeffrey Epstein. And then faxed them out to all his friends and clientele through her. One of the worst types of human beings on the planet. Children, beautiful souls, she destroyed and thinks she deserves to be going to a prison that's around people who have done smaller crimes but still yet criminals. And they've bypassed the laws to allow her to go to said place. That tells me Donald Trump supports pedophiles. Because there's no way in hell you would guarantee this woman, a monster, one of the monsters that harmed these defenseless children, you just gave her a gift. How do you give a monster a gift unless you're a monster and she's hiding your secrets? Which tells you more about what Todd Blanche is all about. Maybe Todd Blanche is on these too. Because I don't understand how a man who has nothing to do with this finds out that Donald Trump is on this list. Instead of seeking the facts so that you could protect children, you went to go talk to G. Maxwell to give her a gift for her to give you some information. And it's so strange how all this shit works in connection. Donald Trump is mentioned that he might be on the list. He says, no, I don't know nothing about it. Pam Bondi said, basically later on we find out, she says that, they said that she told Trump in May. 2 months later, this dude still said, no. It finally comes out after a Democrat asked for this documentation via FOIA, gets the documentation or at least gets a whiff of it or somebody releases it somehow, finds out that Donald Trump's all over these documents. He has 1,000 agents spend 24 hours looking for his name. And then what happened today? They blacked out his name on all the documents so that you'll never know, because he was a private citizen in 2006. So he has a right to be not known, even though we know he's on this list. But once they find out he's on this list, Todd Blanche takes his ass to the prison to interview her for what? Her case is over. You're not trying to release the documents. Who are you trying to go find information about? You trying to start another case with another human being? Why the hell you even listening to this woman? She lied twice. On the stand, she perjured herself twice. Can't be trusted. But you want to send your personal lawyer, whom you made the deputy of the DOJ, you made him a deputy attorney general. And this dude goes out and talks to a notorious pedophile, child abuser. And after you talk to her, all of a sudden, in the middle of the night, this bitch is sent to a small prison, more of a protected prison, where she shouldn't be. You bypass the laws to get her there. And the next day, his name is extracted from the documents in which she knows who the hell was on them. It sounds like he doesn't want to set her free because they make him look guilty, but he'll end up giving her a better stay. They might allow me to do that without hanging me. Why on earth would you give her anything unless you was guilty? Why would you have your name extracted for something unless you was guilty? Y'all need to go check out Michael Wolff. Wolffe, I think it is. Take care, just listen. Go check out Michael Wolff. He's got a bunch of little videos because he interviewed Jeffrey Epstein. And his story is about how Donald Trump has been fumbling around talking about, hey, he was a creep. And then all of a sudden people was like, well, if he's a creep, you knew he's a creep. And that was 2000. Yet though you thought he was a creep in 2000, but you were still hanging with him to 2004. Did I say he was a creep? I mean, he just stole some of my people. Oh, he stole some of your people. It was one of those people, Virginia. I don't know. She worked in the spa. Yeah, it was her. Yeah, she was one of them. Oh, so she's your property and he stole it from you. And that's the reason why you thought he was a creep at first, but you didn't want to call him a creep anymore because that adds you to being a friend of a creep based on the time frame because you were still cool with him. And then you say he took the young girls away from your place. That was 2000 still. You were still cool with this dude until 2004 or 5, somewhere in there. And there was another story floating out there that Donald Trump hasn't validated because he's running around with these other two stories. The other story is the story in which Jeffrey Epstein had an interview and told people why he was not cool with Donald Trump anymore. And it's because Donald Trump had, not Donald Trump, but Jeffrey Epstein had a $30 million, I believe, $30 million mansion he was buying, put an offer in on it. And he brought in Trump to look at the pool and say, how do you think I should move the pool? He just telling his friend he just bought himself a new home. About to go check it out, blah, blah, blah. I want to know where the pool is at. This is his homie, right? So what does his homie do? His homie decides to go buy that home out from under him. And he told him how much he bid for it. He went out from under him and had a bid for $40 million. Well, Jeffrey Epstein knew, according to this interview with Michael Wolff, that Donald Trump was a part of his little scheme of finances. He knew Donald Trump was broke. He didn't have no $40 million. So he's like, how is he getting $40 million to buy it? He bought it out from under Epstein. Epstein was livid, pissed off. And then Donald Trump took that $40 million. He said he don't have $40 million. Well, he thought of Donald Trump possibly being a Russian, he was laundering money for the Russians. And he told Trump, because of the fact that he had bid up under him, that he was going to report him about money laundering for the Russians. He told Michael Wolff he was afraid Donald Trump was. Right? And that kicked off his 15 years of going to court and jail and stuff like that from 2006. Because Donald Trump ratted him out about the girls, which he always knew about. Donald Trump wasn't in the dark about the girls. Donald Trump was a part of that shit. 100%. Not a little bit, a part of it. According to the head pedophile, Jeffrey Epstein, he was a part of it. According to Michael Wolff, who had an interview with him. And I'm sure he probably has this on tape somewhere, but he's speaking it out because you know how reporters do and writers do. They usually tell you it, then they want you to combat it so they can throw out the context, the actual audio or video of the person saying it, so it makes you look like a fool. That's why Donald Trump ain't touching this shit. That's how they roll. So he out there speaking it freely in front of a camera, in front of all this little scenery he has every once in a while, Michael Wolff is. Saying that Donald Trump was a part of the whole pedophile thing. He knew about the girls being whatever they was doing. He ratted on him for doing it because he was scared he was going to go to jail because the house that Donald Trump bought for $40 million that he didn't have $40 million to buy, a Russian oligarch bought that house for $95 million, giving Trump $50 million into a house that he bought and just sold. How you make $50 million on a house that was $30 million was buying it at a high rate in 2000, like whatever it was, 4, 6, whatever. That's a lot. $30 million back then? Come on. And then to resell it, Donald Trump bought it for 40. Gonna bump it up $10 million more. Who on their right mind, your house you know is worth probably like 15 million. Somebody comes in and says, oh, I give you 30. You ready to sign that deal. Then you get Donald Trump giving you $10 million more? Not $30 million and 500,000. $10 million more. You're like, oh shit, yeah. And then not too long after, for that $40 million home to be bought for $95 million. If they wanted it that bad, they could have paid the $95 million to the homeowner. But see, the homeowner wasn't in on the scam of laundering money. Trump was. Now that makes more sense than what Donald Trump is trying to be spewing about Jeffrey Epstein. Makes a hell of a lot more sense because it's plausible. Very easy to believe. Donald Trump saying somebody's a creep when he grabs women by their vaginas. You a creep too, bro. So how is a creep going to kick another creep out? That don't make sense. He stole my girl. That sounds like you owned her. Like you were going to, groom her and he got her before you. And it's like, wait a minute, that was mine. That was my piece of ass. You took it. That's what that sounds like. And then you get Epstein's side. Somewhere there's the truth. I just know it's not on Trump's side because he lies way too much. And then to top it off, before Jeffrey Epstein got arrested, he had called Michael Wolff and said to him, I think I said too much. I exposed too much. I might be in trouble. And soon after that, he was arrested and put in jail in 2006 or whatever it was. And since then, he's been fighting. At that time, he was fighting. From that time on, he fought for many, many years. 15 years, he says, something like that. Yep. So that's the story from the grave of Jeffrey Epstein about Donald Trump. I believe that more. What Donald Trump is saying, flip-flopping left and right, it don't make any sense. To be flip-flopping that much, it's not that hard. Thing trips me out. He can remember a 16-year-old girl that worked at the front desk who worked there for a short time. He can remember her because she said she had just started there. He can remember a 16-year-old girl working in the spa. Mind you, his office is not the spa. She worked in the spa as a front desk person. You remember the front desk person from 2000, and it is literally 2025. See, there's a unwritten rule, so to speak, that a person who violates another person or plans to violate another person, you don't forget the person that you are trying to do something to. You don't forget them because they're a victim of yours and you log that into your head and you never forget them. You remember everything about them because you play them in your head over and over again. It's about the domination. It's about the power of it all more so than the sex. It's about making them weak and you look strong. You're the powerful one, and that's what it's mostly about. Rape is about power more than it is about sex. And when you have that type of thing where somebody pissed you off that they took something from you that you was about to take power out of, and that person got it instead of you getting it, that sounds more like right about Trump than he was worried about some 16-year-old person working at the desk that he was going to miss her or something like that. Was she going to take a few orders. You want a massage? Okay, you want a massage? You thought of that person. The person at the lowest on the fucking totem pole was somebody you remember. Ask him if he remembered the massage therapist that worked at the time in which she was there. I guarantee you he won't remember her because she was grown. He'll remember the kids. I guarantee you he don't remember that massage therapist that worked there that day. Ask him, mainstream media, you know, when she was taken, who was her boss at the time? He won't know because he wasn't checking in on her. He was checking in on the child. He will not know. So Ghislaine has been moved to an area that she can just walk around freely. Crazy. Just insane. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. I look at this stuff. It sickens me that people have the opportunities that they shouldn't have. She should never be let out of prison. Should never be let out of prison. You're getting kicked off of the app, out of TikTok, out of YouTube. TikTok in my head. DJT is a dangerous criminal. He is. He most definitely is. We know it. I mean, how much evidence do you need? I mean, I understand it's not in the court, but the court of public opinion, come on. You don't need this much. You done figured out like every crime show before and realize that, yeah, he did it, she did it, blah, blah. You can figure out Law and Order just by looking at, okay, this is A and he was there and that's the and somebody saw him here. That's all you need is a piece of that shit together. It's circumstantial, don't get me wrong. But you hung out with a pedophile alongside your wife. And also, Michael Wolff had something to say about Melania. Melania was in on all this shit. Melania was in on all this. In fact, he told Michael Wolff, I mean, I would buy this book if Michael Wolff got one, but he told Michael Wolff that the very first time Melania and Donald Trump had sex was on his plane. On his plane, they had sex. And that she was basically a call girl. There was a guy who literally hooked them up with these modeling agencies that they had, where they was bringing all these hookers around to have, you know what, with. She was a part of that. And they weren't modeling underwear or, you know, Victoria's Secret. These were the grown women that were out there seeking fame and taking names. So everybody like, oh yeah, no, Melania's a hoe. 100%. Straight up hoe. Always have been, always will be. That woman, everybody's like, these Republicans, oh, love her, love her, love her. Yeah, it sounds about right because you lost your morality a long time ago. This entire time you've been worshiping a prostitute. Christians. She changed her life around. When? When? Donald Trump over here looking like an orange turd, and she was cute back in the day. She would never be with that fool if she didn't get paid to be with him. She was his beard. He liked little girls anyway. So yeah, I'm keeping looking at Michael Wolff, all his stuff, because his stuff makes sense to me. And Donald Trump ain't tried to sue him not one bit, because I think he's got the goods on Trump. That's what I think, because Donald Trump would easily have Michael Wolff in bars or something to shut him up. But Michael Wolff got contacts. He got the information because he got it directly out of the horse's mouth. And I wouldn't doubt that Steve Bannon got the same shit, but Steve Bannon don't want to take Trump down. But I bet you money, let Donald Trump fuck over Steve Bannon. That shit would be all over Breitbart. Be all over Breitbart. Think it won't, if that's still around. I don't know if it's still around. I don't watch this shit anymore. I used to look at it just to say, man, this is some dumb shit. But yeah, that's what we've learned today. Just another day in dipshit land. It's crazy. But that's all I really got for y'all today. It's a lot, ladies and gentlemen, to be focusing on this fuckery called American politics today. It makes you just yearn for when they would just lie a lot instead of being pieces of shit humans. You know what I'm saying? But now they do both. We got it everywhere, coming out of everything. They ain't lying. They're making up other shit that's just like, you know, destroying people, taking shit away from you. I don't see how Donald Trump can fire people without the... Yeah, think about it. To be able to do the job that this one lady was doing at the U.S. Commissioner of Labor and Statistics, Erica McIntyre, there you go. To be able to like fire her, this is a position that has to be verified. I mean, you have to have the Congress actually pass this woman to become, to vet her to become, or whomever, male or female, become in that position. And he's fired a person. Obviously, they must have somebody as an interim, I would hope, but we don't know. We don't know how that system works. Whether there's a group of people that's doing it and she's just the voice of it, or whether she's the one tasked with doing it all and everybody works beneath her, and now they have no leader. We don't know. But this coming up this month, when they do, next month when they do the previous month job numbers, can we trust it? I say hell no. Hell no, we can't trust it. Watch it jump up. Something ridiculous. You're like, wait a minute. How in the hell was it 70-something now? It's 735,000 the next month. I'm telling you, it's going to be something stupid. Can't trust it. And guess who's not going to trust it? The people that fucking matter. The businesses, the billionaires, the investors. They're going to look at that and be like, and not only American investors, the people who have to buy our bonds, the Japanese and the Chinese will definitely have a reason to start selling our bonds because they're not going to trust our numbers. It's going to be so easy for them to walk to the other people and say, it's time to take over the dollar because it don't make any sense anymore. He's making shit up. It doesn't even matter. We need a more stable dollar, not America's. They've been working on this for decades, and they're going to have an easier, more valid pathway to it with this dipshit in office. This right here, we think it's affecting just us. No, Japan, China, who owns our debt, people who own our dollar, our bonds, they're all checking out. They ain't saying they're going to leave, but they're checking this out to see, like, wait a minute. I don't know if we can trust America's numbers anymore. Because let the stock market start to crash and shit like that. This dude going to start what? Suing companies to say they're doing better than they actually doing? I mean, I wouldn't put it past them. I don't know. Those are all speculations, not facts. But it's going down a pathway of like, what is going on? The foundations of democracy are crumbling. And we're just sitting here, leaders, Bernie Sanders kind of cracking a joke, bro. It's serious as fuck. It's life or death here. We ain't playing games. Ain't nothing to be laughing at. Laughing at them, but the situation ain't shit to be laughing at. And I know he's kind of playing, but I ain't got time for that no more. Got one last thing to say to y'all. I don't know if you'll see it or not, but I want you guys to check out. There was an interview, and I didn't get to see all of it. I saw it like on a Instagram, TikTok thing. It was only like a minute or so. I want to try and find the full video. I didn't get a chance to watch it. Pete Buttigieg. Today, when I saw that video, I was like, he's speaking to me. 100%. The shit he was saying is everything I want in a politician. He stopped talking all above everybody's head and started talking about serious shit that people have to go through. Speaking at the level of the American citizen, like we were saying, not speaking over their heads, not speaking underneath them, speaking right to them, and the issues that we need to deal with. Not just this hoity-toity, this, that, and the third. It's like, yo, we need certain things to take care of in this country, and we have more in common than we don't. And the divisive shit's got to stop. But again, that was just one interview. He could say something fucked up tomorrow, I'll be off the train. But I saw that and I was like, uh-oh. He sounds like a contender to me, especially if he continues to speak to the people and make sense. And he was speaking to me. So I don't know if you're going to check it out. Let me know if you see it. Let me know tomorrow if he was speaking to you, if you didn't see it already. But he had an interview. I don't know what he was saying. He was sitting down with somebody. I didn't know who it was. But he was talking about, we need to speak to the American people and have something for the American people, not just talking, about nothing. So hopefully you'll see it. Yeah, Pete Buttigieg, he was speaking in a very soft tone, very firm tone though, but effective to me. I was like, sounds like he's a contender to actually, at least I want to see him on the podium and see how he runs up against everybody else. I'm gonna put it this way: if they have to debate, his debating game is gonna be killer. Whomever he's got to debate, because my man is on a different level debating people, on a different level if you see him. But anyway, I can't wait to see that. Whoever starts to run, I gotta go watch a couple interviews. I didn't get a chance to see Kamala Harris' full interview on the Late Show, Stephen Colbert. I heard it was good. I just saw a clip and a few other things. I gotta watch the full Pete Buttigieg and see exactly what his interview was about. Something else I can't remember right now. But anyway, for those of you who go to my show, I'm gonna go ahead and try and DJ again tonight. We'll see what happens. They might kick me off. Who knows? I doubt it. I've been seeing people do it. Just to give you some heads up for those who are on my TikTok, where I'll be in about 15 minutes or so. Your boy got to eat. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys have a great weekend. We'll be back, wrapping up a lot of the crazy stuff that's going on in this country, trying to figure out solutions. Look out for my Avid Solutionist podcast and YouTube channel I'm gonna start up just so that we can talk about positive stuff. This right here, getting stuff off our chests, and then over there is about how we can be the best we can be and finding solutions and implementing them all parts of life. You don't know, I love improving people's lives, whether it be listening to their problem and providing a solution, or just listening and helping them get stuff off their chest, or being in a mastermind where each person comes in and gets loved on. That brings joy to my heart, and I want to get back to the joy. Under Biden, I had joy working on other things. Under Obama, I had joy. It's only been under Trump that I have been under, like, every freaking day. So much, like, frustration with this group of MAGA and nonsensical and dipshittery that's just off the charts dumb. I don't understand it. But we're going to start doing the Avid Solutionist thing coming up in a little while. Probably, I'm going to give myself about a month to try and see if I can get everything done. But it's gonna be a fun show. I'm trying to have a fun doing some stuff, man. Not always being, frustrated with this fool, because, eventually this man's gonna pass away. I hope he goes before me. I hope to God he goes before me, so I can have some life of peace after he's dead and gone. But you never know what God has in store. So anyway, I see some of you guys out on this weekend. I'll probably try to do my Sunday show with jazz, blues, and an old school movie. We watch a lot of black and white joints and things of that nature, if TikTok don't take us down. That's at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Sunday on TikTok. And I'm Mr. Straight Facts 23 on TikTok, if you don't know. You guys know how to support the show. Thanks again for the donations that I've received tonight. I appreciate y'all as always. Again, I'm going to go over and do this other show and get something to eat. But hopefully I've added something to you, help you understand some things. And I'll see you guys on Monday at around 5:30 Pacific Standard Time, depending on when I get home. I try my best to get here early. But I'm always CP time. I'll be trying to get on time, but I'm on that CP. And it's so funny. I never was CP when I worked in corporate. After that, CP became a part of me here for some reason. But anyway, we trying our damnedest. You guys have a great night, a great weekend. Have some fun. Stop thinking about this fool. Get some peace, drink some coffee or whatever you sip on, and relax. And have those 2 days off that you deserve so well. All right? I hope Five Alarm Fire is doing well too. He came back after he was sick, but I don't know for sure. But we will keep Five Alarm Fire in our thoughts and prayers, depending on whether you pray or not. Thoughts is good. And I appreciate all y'all. Y'all have a great weekend. Be safe. And I'll see you when I see you.